Hello and welcome to Bakerstreet.coasters. So on the 24th of August I went to London and I did Shrek's Adventure, The Dungeon, Madden Tussauds for the first time for ages, and what was the other one? Hello Heavily. How are you? What have you been to? And then there was another one I did, but I don't think I did. Yes, the London Eye. So basically, I'm going to give you the whole entire updates of about these attractions. I have just put on my Spirit of London POV, so go and check that out if you haven't already. But for now, if you are staying here, then I will tell you. So the first one we did in the morning was well, actually, what did we do? We did Madden Tussauds. Now, Madden Tussauds was amazing. I loved the dark ride in there. Like I said, new POV is out. The Spirit of London, it takes you through the whole entire history. I also love how they've redone all the lighting in there. They've re-waxed the models, which, you know, they're like wax models. You've got new models in there. You've got Doctor Who. You've got Baker Street back, because a few years ago they took out the Baker Street street, which is underground, that used to be home to Sherlock Holmes. They then took that out and they put it in for Chamber of Horrors. So, you know, it was kind of one of those things, and I kind of like that area now, but they also force you to go down there. So if you're not 16 and the thing on the board says don't go down here if you're under 16, or it's not acceptable for under 16s. If you're not 16 or under and you're scared of stuff, you're forced to go down there. I'm not quite sure what the staff member would do and stuff like that. But normally, when you go underground and you go to that bit, there's also another door, like double doors that open. But apparently, that wasn't the case this time. So that was one thing which I'd say was pretty negative, because you should give the person a choice to go either way. If you're not scared, if you are scared of stuff which are like gory and stuff like that, suggestions don't go down there. And you can just go the other way, or if you just want to go down there, then you can go down there. It shouldn't be not a choice. So yeah, that's the first thing which I think is awful. Second thing which I love, right? Like I said, Spirit of London. Now this ride is amazing, so immersive. It tells a history which is like no other. I don't think any other Madden Tussauds out there has this sort of ride system. It's an omnimover, meaning the ride cars are always going. Like there isn't a single gap. Only when there's like the carriage meet-up. There's not a single gap throughout the whole entire ride. I mean, it takes on a load of capacity, and it just tells a good story in that way, whilst also entertaining multiple guests at once while you're just flowing through. It's so good, and I love it. Yeah, again, the one thing which I did find out in this ride, and I did tell the ride staff, and then, like a few of us did tell the ride staff, is that the ride music and the ride sound wasn't working throughout the whole ride. And if you saw my POV, you would see that the ride sound kind of died off, and then it came back and it kind of died off. It's like it was like mix and match, and then during the end of that area it was just awful, and it was like there was no sound whatsoever, so you didn't know what was going on at the funfair bit and stuff like that. So I was pretty concerned, especially like where the war bit was. You heard the air sirens, but you know, hello. We are about Spirit of London we are about Madden Tussauds of London. Now, I do like Madden Tussauds this summer. Now, I've been in the past and I've told you how packed it was. It has been awful in the past seasons, in the past years. But this time, I'm not quite sure what happened, but they've seemed to spot on. Well, they seem to be quite right on the timing, because you've got really little people in areas where normally it's really packed. For example, you normally have like Harry Styles. Not many people around Harry Styles. You've got The Rock, and you've got Doctor Who, and not all that area, the whole entire area wasn't even packed at all. Loads of people coming out, but there was less people staying in the attraction. Not quite sure why that is, but you know, it was quite good to get around and see different models without it being packed and everything. At the start it was a little bit packed, but then at the end it was just really fluent, like the Star Wars bit and everything. It was just good. Now, that was Madden Tussauds over. I also think that the Marvel bit of it, because there's a 4D cinema in that, I also think that should be scrapped completely. Firstly, it's Marvel. Secondly, it's not Marvel, because half the rides, like half the 4D cinema and stuff like that, the movie just didn't go with what the characters actually look like. It was also very timid in the timings. For example, it was like 5 minutes. Well, the person said it was like 5 minutes or 7 minutes to get in, but there was actually no time screen saying this is how long the next video is going to be, so you're keeping people there not knowing unless the person says. So that's a bit bad, because if it wasn't open you'll be waiting there for ages unless there was a wide staff there, which yeah, again, is one of those things which, you know, it's all up in the air. But I don't think that area suits at all. Yes, you've got Hulk, but whole area is just a bit I see it's seen better days. I remember opening back in 2014, 2013, but yeah, no, it just didn't appeal, especially nowadays. It's like Marvel and Iron Man, they're not a thing anymore. It's like we've got new stuff coming in, so it'll be pretty cool to see them replacing it with new thing. Like they've done it with the Star Wars area, in the back end of this area, like you've had Rey and BB-8. I mean, that's really good because it goes through the whole entire immersive experience of Star Wars and you've got Skywalker, Star Wars 1 to 3, 4 to 5, no 4 to 6, and like 7 to 9. Pretty good to see that. You've got C-3PO, you've got BB-8, Rey Skywalker, Luke Skywalker, Anakin, uh, Emperor, well, Sith Lord, and you've also got Darth Vader. So you've got all that area pretty good. And as we all know, we used to have one in Legoland. We used to have an experience in Legoland, all made out of Lego. That got scrapped because Disney didn't like it because it was too close to the Disney version of it. But I'm not quite sure why they've still at Madden Tussauds, but it's quite good to see that they have it at Madden Tussauds because it gives you a lot of photo opportunities and you just see actors that you've never seen before. So that whole entire area and that whole entire attraction is good, but they've got some little tweaks to it. But yet again, it wasn't packed. It was very immersive. Loved the ride if the sound was working, and yeah, it was just all amazing. We then went to the dungeon. Now this is where the new information comes in, very top secret, because I'm not actually meant to tell you guys, but I will tell you guys. So we went in and we went around the place itself. Now the first thing we noticed is that it took us around a different route. That is because the ride itself, the boat ride which is normally in there, is no longer there. It's been scrapped, and we got told by the junior manager yesterday that it got scrapped completely. Now we have also been told that this new ride, because they are replacing it with a new ride, is going to be actor based. It's going to be not screen based, and I've asked for it not to be screen based because if we look at the likes of Kadabra at Cadbury World, if we look at the likes of Lego Ninjago at Legoland, if we look at the likes of another ride which has screens in it, it just doesn't work at all. And I have to tell you, it's not good. Having screen-based rides is just out of this world, especially in the dungeons when you've got live actors there, and then it's like, oh, screen-based doesn't make any sense. So yes, having this new ride in, it will be pretty cool to see what they do. Apparently, and as we all know, Merlin don't like water rides, and I also knew that ride did need a refurbishment because there was areas at the start which weren't working, and I'm pretty sure there was meant to be a lot of actors there, but it just weren't. We've been in it multiple times and it's broken down. It's got some really bad maintenance issues to it, and I just think it's a ride that needs to be gone by now. So it is gone, and it's pretty good to see. I did like the ride, how it just went up and it went backwards, but it rest in pieces. It is all in the archive, and like the junior manager said, it's in the archive and something new is coming. Now the best thing about junior manager is that she has close links with the ride designer and stuff like that, so she can don't want screen based, and screen based isn't going to be an option, so that's pretty good to see. So yeah, we found that a bit timid, and it just was really good in how they picked that area up, because it started off with Guy Fawkes, and then you went round to Guy Fawkes and the King Charles's beheading, or no, it wasn't King Charles, Oliver Cromwell's beheading, and he went to Torturer and like here, and it's really good to see all that area be immersive. Now there was a bit where normally it's being used, so you go up these steps and it's normally used for the fire, the Great Fire of London, and then it's being used for plague, so it's a bit of mix and match. Now there was an issue where basically they just left us in the dark. Now we have spoken to the junior manager, and they were like, it was because someone wanted to use the lift and it wasn't recognised beforehand. That was understandable, but they shouldn't have left us in the dark. They should have moved us on, and we saw the junior manager come into our experience. Now I get that's something that they have to do if they are being told that they have to get people up that stairs, like they use the elevator and stuff. But it was a bit unexperienced, unimmersive when that bit happened, because it's like the immersations kind of died at that point. You had different stuff like door knockers working and everything, but it just, the sound wasn't working, nothing like that. It was like the whole room was dark. They then moved us on to the Plague Doctor. Yeah, again, the junior manager was really sorry about that, and she did apologise really bad, but she didn't realise what was going on in the experience. Now, they were also fitting in 40 people, so the capacity they have for the London Dungeon in the summer holidays is 40 people. That is quite a lot of people to fit in those rooms, but again, their rooms are big enough to fit more, but at the same time I think there should be less, because it just ruins the experience when you've got people there and like, you know, you've got children and the age of 5 and stuff like that. It's just not good. And when it's so cramped, you can't see all the actors, or some people just don't shut up, and the actors have to tell them to shut up. It's just not good. But you know, it is what it is, and it's the dungeon at the end of the day. Always a different experience because it's always different actors. I did love the whole entire layout. You've got Mrs. Lovett, Mysterious, Mr. Todd. You've got Jack the Ripper, and then you've got Jack the Ripper's. Well, it's like the pub where the Jack the Ripper first held a victim, stuff like that. So it was pretty good to see that area. And you know, it hasn't changed much, but you know, they use Rotten Royals, which they use quite a lot. They use the whole entire area just with immersion. It is really good to see that they have advanced, and there's some new stuff in there too, which I didn't even realise. Like the Torturer was the Torturer's been there for quite a while, but like his lines and stuff like that were pretty new. The start bit with Guy Fawkes, they were pretty new. Even though I like the one in York. York had a really good Guy Fawkes immersion to it. I mean, London's is quite good too. And then the drop down tower. I did ask the person what happened to the ride in the drop down tower, and they went, it's not available, or it's down for maintenance at the moment. And what they didn't know is that it's clearly just been ripped out. So yeah, now the speculation is what could go towards this new ride. Now I might do that in another video because I'm not going to do it here. So then we went to Shrek's Adventure. Well, we did Shrek's Adventure before Dungeon, but Shrek's Adventure was good. But I just think the whole entire area just needs to be ripped out completely because it was a lot of cramped and timing and queuing for definite. So firstly, we went in, waited for our time, we went up these places, got into the lift, went up, and then it was like, oh great, we've got a queue again. We then went up the stairs, went through this corridor, and we got a queue again. And it was like where the sweet shop is, and then you've got to wait, and it was really dull with the fact that the queuing were all inside. Like, they let so many people in, but they weren't getting through so many. They should do what they did with Madden Tutorials and get through. Like, if areas like really not cramped, then you move the next people on. It's just one of those things, and I don't understand how Merlin have made that system amazing, because they haven't. It's not amazing. They think it's amazing, but it's not. If you actually go in it and realise how many people are actually in these areas, like queuing for a thing that isn't a ride, it's pretty concerning, especially when it's an attraction and you're booked in. You don't get in at 12:15. You get into the experience as well. You get into the attraction itself as 12:15, but you don't get in it till like 12:45 because the people in front still haven't gone through. I think their time slots need to be a little bit more longer to allow those group of people to go through, and then it would be like, oh, you don't have to queue because then they can go through. Or they could just do a load more people. But yeah, again, it varies on how much you can fit in a bus ride, because there's a bus ride in this thing. I don't like this bus ride. This bus ride should move, and that's like the second thing you experience after going through the journey of where you're going to go far away and stuff like that. You've got like Shrek, and you've got different stuff like Kung Fu Panda, and I just don't like that aspect. I mean, I get it's DreamWorks and everything, but why do you need Kung Fu Panda in Shrek? Shrek has nothing to do with Kung Fu Panda and How to Train Your Dragon and whatever things do they have. I don't know. Penguins. Okay, Penguins and Money, that's a different story, but you know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, I don't think Shrek's is a really ideal place to go anymore. I mean, it's good to go. I mean, you used to pay £1 just to get in, but it's just one of those attractions which really does need to go, because when Shrek 5 comes out, it wouldn't make any sense to the storyline, because there's Shrek 5 appearing nowhere. You've just got like different like characters in there. Like, I don't think Kung Fu Panda's good in there, but you got Ginger's quite good, but you know, it's just one of those experiences which I think they should just get rid of, and it should be replaced with something else. I always thought of a Merlin style theme where basically you can have different areas, because Merlin has such an amazing thing about their roller coasters and how they've got different past stories to it. It'd be pretty cool to see something like the Phalanx area and what they do with that, and then you've got Hyperia area, you've got Dragon area. It'd be pretty cool to see what they do with that, but I don't think that will happen because they can change it now and then with their different rides. But you know, it still just doesn't add up sometimes. I didn't go in any other. Oh, I did the London Eye. London Eye is always good, as ever. Wasn't too cramped. Wasn't too. Well, we didn't queue much. It seemed like people really were put off because of the weather and stuff like that. But I'm not quite sure how they worked it out today. It was like, it looked really quiet, but sometimes it was like really busy. Madden Tutorials was not that busy. London Eye was not that busy. Normally it's heaving. I'm not quite sure, but you know, it was just amazing to see London quiet for a chance. I mean, it wasn't all quiet, but it was quiet. Anyways, so I'm gonna go now. London was quite a good day. I love all the attractions there. Went to different other places like Canary Wharf. We did. Well, we went to Subway Canary Wharf. We went to the Buckingham Palace. That was quite cool to go to. And we all did that in all one day. And like the last riders for London Eye was like 8:30, 8, 9. So you know, leaving London at night's really good. Anyways, I'm gonna go now. Please remember to subscribe, smile always, and bye guys.